to I Am a Philly Artist TV. I'm Darnell Richardson. I'm your host. We're so excited. We're always excited. We're here with Mama Maisha Nguza Sullivan, who is an educator. She's an activist. She does so much within our community. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for the invite, Darnell.
No problem. Now, as an educator, people may think teachers or community activists, they just support the community with things, initiatives, but there's so much other things that you do within your free time. You're ready to retire, so
pretty soon retiring.
Awesome.
Not much free time, but one of the things when you work in the helping professions or human services, you have to find time for yourself. If not, you'll burn out.
Awesome.
So I do multimedia craft things like that to just help me focus and quiet time and things like that. Because I work with children, and then I'm real active in a lot of issues in the community, and it can be real stressful. So I found over the years doing different things is very therapeutic for me. So it's developed little skills, dabbling, everything.
Awesome. Now, did you take any classes or?
I do. I'm a perpetual student. I like taking classes. I have this thing. I try and learn something new every year. So I always searching out for different classes. Look around, see who's community centers, even outside of the city. I'll travel for different workshops or things, any craft, any medium. So I've taken carpentry classes, metal smithing, batiking, and then I organize classes myself. I have a group of women. We get together every 3 or 4 months, and we do something we call a make it, take it. And it's just a whole day of doing crafts. And whatever you make that day, you can take it with you by the end of the day. So I organized those for the last few years. So it's just, I'm just trying to encourage other people to do it also, to find outlets in our community that's healthy, other ways to de-stress, because a lot of times we self-medicate and do other things to try and get rid of the stress, and we're losing hobbies. Before everybody had a hobby and knew how to do a little something. Now the children have no hobbies. They have no exposures to anything other than video games. So we're trying to encourage parents to bring the children to these kind of things that we organize. And the children come the first time and they hate it. They don't want to come. And now they call, when's the next one? When's the next? Because they want to be creative. So the whole thing is to learn that you can be a producer and not just a consumer. You can produce items and produce things and not always be a consumer and get what other people create. You can create, be a creator yourself. Awesome.
Now, what community organizations do you work with?
Well, I work with the Kwanzaa Cooperative is one of the primary ones, and this time of year is around Kwanzaa. I don't know when it's going to be broadcast, so I'm pretty busy around then. I'm on the board of Imhotep Charter, your alum, your school where you graduated from, so that's a major commitment. I'm in some black women's groups, and just a lot of different ones, ad hoc kind of things that come up that generate support and need people, for social change. So I stay pretty busy and pretty in demand. I get a lot of calls to be a part of different things and to help out. Because I'm an organizer.
I'm pretty sure if you've been to a lot of cultural events in the Philippines, you've seen Mama Maisha, whether it's Odoon Day, just recently Dance Africa. That was very, very awesome. What did you do exactly with the Council of the Elders for that?
I chaired the Council of the Elders for Dance Africa, and we met leading up to the event, planning how things would go, looking for more resources, making sure that all the performers were comfortable, making sure the traditions were honored in terms of how you honor the elders, you honor the drummers. So the Council of Elders kind of like were the gatekeepers of the tradition. And now we're going to try, this was the first time we had it in Philadelphia, so now we're trying to institutionalize the Council of Elders so to be around year-round, not just for this one event, but for other events in the community that have need of that type of support, resources, and guidance. But in between, I craft.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're actually going to talk about and look at some of the crafts that you have created. So stay tuned of more I Am a Philly Artist TV.
Hello, everyone. I am Amanda Johnson.
And I'm Darnell Richardson.
Make sure that you like us on Facebook at I Am a Philly Artist TV.
And follow us on Twitter at iPhillyArtist. You can also check out our website for awesome articles and other things arts-wise at www.iamaphillyartist.net. Welcome back to I Am a Philly Artist. We're here with Mama Maisha. That's what I call her, Mama Maisha. So we're back here with her, and we have some of her awesome crafts here. You can just share with us a little bit about the ones, or share them all, because you know they're all different and unique. So just let us know the inspiration behind them.
Well, these are the ones that were portable that I could bring. I have some pieces that are big, like furniture. I make furniture. I made my bed. I made radiator covers.
Wow.
So I have some pretty big pieces. Like I said, I kind of like work in all mediums: wood, fabric. I make jewelry. I work with clays. So let me show you a little bit of some of the things I have here. So these are some of the dolls I've made over the years, and everything is handmade. And you know, working from regular material. So some of the dolls have stories to them. Like this one here. Pull it up. This one was made at a class at Imhotep. We used to have a doll making class there, and she's called the Gift Giver. So she's holding a gift, but her whole body is covered with small little gift wrap things. You know, she got the natural hair. She got locks like me. This one is like this like a little bride. I made that for my granddaughter. This one here, the blue. This one, she's one of the Yoruba Orishas. She's Yeminya, who's like a motherly figure. This one I made for my daughter's birthday. So you see the seashells. It's supposed to represent water, nurturing. Life comes through water and everything. And so, you know, her hair, I had to wig her hair. It's a clay face. This is made from scrap wood. She's a shelf sitter. So I like to use a lot of recycled stuff. And this was some hair I picked up inside a hair shop. Sometimes I go inside hair shops and ask for the scraps on the floor.
Wow.
So a lot of times I like to recycle things. So this was just a scrap wood that I made like a shelf doll. These are some of the pieces I made out of polymer clay. It's a synthetic clay that doesn't take, you don't need a kiln. You can bake it in a toaster oven. You can bake it in your house oven. So this is made out of polymer clay, like bracelets and necklaces. And I was trying to learn how to make something that looked like bone, looked like ivory. And that's what these two are. I was trying to learn this technique, because you know you're not supposed to have ivory and bone anymore. You know, there's an elephant bone. So people are trying to learn now to make things that look like it. This doll here. This is a major doll. It's just so many. It's just lots of stories in this doll. One thing, she has my hair. It's based on this dolls from the Cameroon called Nonge, and we did DNA, and my DNA was traced to the Cameroon. So she became like my ancestral doll. I found out we were from the Cameroon. So this is a Nonge. And so she has these gree-grees pouches and on the shoulders, and their names of all my ancestors are inside there. Wow. Gree-gree are usually pouches you put herbs and prayers and things in. So I have my ancestors' names in there. It has some beads and some things that belong to my late husband. And then I have these smaller pouches representing my grandchildren. All my grandchildren's names are in there, and also the children in the program that I work with, because they're like my social grandchildren, so their names are in there for them to, you know, for my family and my ancestors to also look out for them. And then this is all hand beaded. Wow. This leather was a bright red leather that came from Luther Vandross's jacket. Wow. His Power of Love tour. Luther Vandross's cousin, who's really like his sister, is one of my best friends. So she gave me a piece of the leather that was used to make his red jacket. Wow. So Luther is one of my favorite singers of all time. So, and there's so much love, and this came from his Power of Love tour. So this doll represents the love I had, my ancestors and the children and my grandparents and the grandchildren. So this is my Nonge. So this took a long time. It was a long story about how I had to make her before January 1st. So I stayed up almost 2 nights in a row, because I was like, she had to be born before this new year came in. So I was stressing out, but I did it. Very, very proud of her.
Very detailed.
Very detailed. It's got my hair. So it's got my DNA, just like I found out my DNA was from the Cameroon. Awesome. We took the children in our program to Ghana last year, and for 2 years we raised funds, and we were selling all kinds of things. So this is one of the things I created that we were selling. And this is some of my woodwork. So we were selling mirrors. Sometimes it could be an earring holder, or it could be a chalkboard. You can commission what you want it to be. So it was lots of different designs. But this is one of my favorite ones. And so this is one of the things we were selling to raise money to take all these high school students to Africa.
Awesome.
And so I'm just getting into quilting, but I don't like quilting like old-fashioned quilts like with the squares and that. I like art quilts that tell stories. So I'm working on an art quilt. I'll pull it out there. This newest one I'm working on is for Nina Simone. But this is the first art quilt I did. The challenge was we had to create a quilt based on a place we've been or would like to go to or one of our favorite places in the world. So I created this quilt. This is called Serengeti, and it was based on a trip I made to East Africa. So this was my first art quilt. And now the one I'm making now is a serious one for Nina Simone, singing about 4 women. It's going to take me a long time, but it has to be finished by February for Women's History Month. So we get together, some friends, and we give ourselves challenges to keep us creative, because a lot of times you forget about your creativity in other ways unless you do it for a living.
Yeah.
But most of the sisters are doing it. We're like, most of us are self-taught, and we like the sisterhood. We get together, we bring our little food. It's very relaxing, and to be creative is an act of the divine, you know. And so it's really carrying out, what we're put here for. We're here to put, one of the principles of Kwanzaa is to do as much as we can in the way that we can. Kuumba, creativity. So I try and make that a real thing, not just say it's just for Kwanzaa. You should be creative, but around the year. And so this comes out in different ways. Since I work with children, a lot of times they have projects, and I'm known as the go-to person for any project any student have, because you're going to have a nice presentation, because I really care about how things look, and I make them learn the materials and all the different ways to expand. They might want to make a little something. I have them make a life size, and they get good grades. And they really fuss because I make them go into it, really have to put a lot of time. Like they had to make a demo, a little small something of an organ for a class, like a heart or lung. Oh, we do a heart and a lung. It'd be 3-dimensional. You can see inside it with the veins. And just to give them, and they'd be surprised they had these skills in them. I bring the materials for them, the clay and all these kind of things, and pictures, and have them think more deeply, because art is out of the way now in school. With the budget cuts, there's no art classes. There's nothing for that side of the brain. It's the academics, and they barely doing that. But the artistic side of the children who have that side, and that part is not being fed at all. So we don't create opportunities for them in our families and in our communities. They're not going to get that opportunity. And to have children not to find out what their gifts are, what their creative gifts, be it dance, visual arts, or anything, for them not to ever know what that really is, not to be in an environment that would nurture and bring that out of them, it's just such a disservice. And we're going to have more and more unhealthy people, because when you suppress and you don't live to your full potential, you're just not a happy, productive person. So we have to, now in our community, we have to create these creative opportunities, because the schools are not going to do it. The organizations that were doing it, funds get in the way and everything. So we have to find other ways to give the children and families access that's inexpensive, but still healthy, and they need healthy ways to learn to be creative. And everybody don't want to be a hip-hop artist. Everybody don't want to be a sports. Some children are just naturally creative. You see them, you give them something, they make something out of nothing. But you have to nurture and harness those skills. And so, so I'm going to be doing more of that when I retire. Creating more opportunities for people to be able to have creative outlets in our communities.
Now, how can people get in contact with you?
Okay. Well, while I'm still working, through Say Yes to Education in Philadelphia, that's going to always be the best way to reach me, because that's going to, even though I'm going to be traveling more, but that would be the best way to reach me. Through Say Yes to Education Philadelphia, you just put it up online or Google it or what, and that's the best way how to reach me. And I'm very interested. If you have programs or children, you want to do some creative. I do make it, take it workshops for children around Kwanzaa, and they make everything they need for Kwanzaa, and even a functional kinara that you can use during Kwanzaa. Not one of them little play ones, a real one that the family can use and be part of their ceremonies, and they make everything. So I've been, over the years, just developing these ways to using my creative skills to kind of like expand and bring it to the community so they can benefit from it. So I just love doing it. I just love making things, and I've met a great group of women who we all like making and doing things. So it's just a nice circle. It's a different kind of circle. You know, most of the time I'm around activists and things. You know, you always talk about police brutality. And, you know, we just hear this one's like, what kind of fabric should we? You know, it's just a time to just let go. Other than that, where are we going to be for this demonstration? Who did the police beat up this time? This is, you know, that still happens. I still deal with it. But this time we're like, I think this color would be nicer. Let's go look at this. Let's go to see this exhibit. And so it's been very, very, very healthy for all of us. I think it's very important because, as I said, we self-medicate to deal with our stress and to relax. All I got to do is just go in my basement workshop and decide if I'm going to make with clay, fabric, if I feel like sewing, if I just feel like sketching. I don't have to sit in front of the TV and zone out. You know, I have all kinds of different outlets, and I can create something even if I don't want it for myself. And I got these things, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, you know. I'll give them a gift or something. I just like the creative process. I like the creative process. I like taking raw materials and making it into something. I like to problem solve them. I like working with my hands. So that's the kind of artist I am, just grassroots artist.
Awesome. So much wisdom. We don't have to ask you for motivation because you share so much wisdom with not just me, but our production crew that's here, and I'm pretty sure that our audience that's watching at home is very inspired. So
well, it's like you, Darnell, with your skills. You have so many different gifts and stuff like that, and you're expanding in all different ways and exposing people to different ways that people are expressing themselves in healthy ways, you know, sponsoring trips here. I'd be following you and seeing the kind of things you're doing. And I saw that little Darnell from Hotep. He just doing such great stuff. But it's important. We have to create it for ourselves. We have to create the healthy outlets and things like that. Because not, you know, it'd be all the other kind of things people. If you don't put the positive out there, negative will fill the void. So it's very important for us to do that.
Thank you. So we want to thank you so much for coming on the show today. Again, thank you for all the wisdom. Again, not only myself, but everyone else, I'm pretty sure is very, very inspired and motivated to find a craft to, you know, help fill that empty void, to allow them, because arts does save lives. So.
I don't want to live anymore. You're young, pregnant, and probably on welfare.
So you need to just get it in your head that it's not going to happen.
Or should I say what you said I didn't have?
I guess you can't be a David if you don't have a Goliath.
But when it comes to your heart's desires, no matter what they may be, you make sure you go after them.
We dare you to dream.
Breathe upon the nations. Let your power and your glory.
Hello everyone, I am Amanda Johnson.
And I'm Darnell Richardson.
Make sure that you like us on Facebook at I Am a Philly Artist TV.
And follow us on Twitter at iPhillyArtist. You can also check out our website for awesome articles and other things arts-wise at www.iamaphillyartist.net.
I am Tyrone, and you're watching I Am a Philly Artist TV.
Third season, we're here with Tyrone Davis. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
It's a pleasure.
Awesome. So you do so much within the arts. If you could just share with our audience a little bit about yourself and where did you get your start in this industry?
Well, I've been dancing for 50 years. I've been drumming for 43 years. I got my start starting with my uncle 50 years ago. And then I've studied around the world.
Now, what places have you traveled to?
I've been to Africa. I've been to Europe. I lived in the Caribbean and traveled throughout the United States.
Awesome, awesome. Now, you said your uncle started. Tell us a little about your uncle, who he was, and.
At the time, he was Hassan Rashank when he was here in Philly, and I started studying with him. Later, he moved to New York and became Baba Ishangi with the Ishangi dancers.
Awesome.
So I started with him first. Then I went on to train with other people, with Arthur Hall, and then Greg Jarman, my drum teacher, Bobby Crowder with Kula Millet, and then I started my own company, the Sun Children, and moved to St. Thomas.
Awesome. Now, there's so many things that you do within the African culture. You're a seamstress, you make costumes, clothing, drumming, masquerade, so many different wonderful things. Can you just share some of those things that you do with the audience?
Well, teaching the dance and teaching the drum, you have to learn how to make your costumes. If you can't make your costumes, you end up paying a whole lot of money. And a lot of times you might not get what you want. So it was a part of it, learning to make the jewelry, learning how to do your instruments. From the shekere was the first thing I learned to make. And then I had to learn how to make my drums, how to tune my drums, how to put heads on it. And then costuming, it just became a part of what I had to do.
Awesome. Now, who are some of the students that you had trained that may be known in the culture now or in the arts industry as now?
Their elders. You're one of the students, right? But everybody else, basically, well, I touch a lot of people's lives, so it's not who did I just train, because as a dancer, you study from a lot of people. So it's, you don't study with one person, because then you only have one style. You have to go around and study with all the people who know.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we'll be right back with more about Tyrone on I Am a Philly Artist TV. Stay tuned.
I don't want to live anymore. You're young, pregnant, and probably on welfare.
So you need to just get it in your head that it's not going to happen.
Or should I say what you said I didn't have?
I guess you can't be a David if you don't have a Goliath.
But when it comes to your heart's desires, no matter what they may be, you make sure you go after them.
We dare you to dream.
Breathe upon the nations. Let your power and your glory.
Welcome back to I Am a Philly Artist TV. We're here with Tyrone Davis, an awesome artist, African dancer, drummer. You pretty much do everything within the African culture of arts community. I want to thank you again for coming on the show today. Such a blessing for you to be here. We wanted to kind of shift over to your company that you have, Baba God. If you could just share with us a little bit about it, what motivated you to start this company, and what exactly this company does.
Baba God is a performing arts company. We go into the schools and we bring the culture back into the schools. What made me start the company was I was working at 5 different schools and running all the time, and so it became necessary for me to start my own LLC and put the company together so that people who already know the arts could go into the schools and teach for me instead of me running all the time.
Awesome, awesome. So you're pretty much creating opportunities for the community using principles of Nguza Saba to empower and to employ local artists, which is also such a wonderful thing. So we thank you for doing things like that. I know I thank you for doing things like that, definitely. So Baba, what are some of the things that you specialize in?
Well, I'm famous for the fire dance. I've been doing the fire dance over 35 years. And my latest one, well, the last 10 years I've been doing the bed of nails, where I lay on 22,000 nails. They put the other bed of nails on top of me, and people stand on top of it.
Wow, wow. So let me just, I know people may ask you this all the time, what made you want to do something like that? Like, you just woke up one morning and said, I'm going to put fire on my body, or I'm going to lay in between bed. What was your motivation behind it?
My motivation, someone asked me to do the fire dance because she was having a baby, and she said she wanted, when the baby was born, the ceremony, she wanted a fire dancer. And so I said, okay, I'll try it. And I tried it, and it's grown from there. The bed of nails, I saw it, and I had to try it. And that's why now, the next thing I'll start next year will be dancing on broken glass.
Wow. I'm pretty sure that you have wowed so many audience members with those acts. So we actually have a clip of Baba's performance, performing the fire dance and the bed of nails at our holiday concert, which took place this past December at the Adrian Theater. So we're going to check that out. clip. Wow, doing that act, you know, we've seen it there. It's nothing like seeing it live, of course. So with our show, we have a segment where we like to motivate up-and-coming artists. Now, a lot of people think art is just singing, dancing, or acting, but we look at the universal form of art, whether it's cooking, whether it's sewing, whether it's making clothes, well, that's sewing. Whatever the case may be, this is a universal style of art. So if you can look into the camera and just share some words of inspiration with some artists.
The first thing you have to do, study your craft. Most of the time, don't let your ego be better than your talent. So always learn as much as you can, and it will help you to do the best you can. The more you know, the more money you will make.
Well, we want to thank you so much. Before we close out, we just want to share how people can get in contact with you in case they would like to fire dance at their baby shower or when their baby is coming out, per se. But how can they get in contact with you, Baba?
They can contact me on Facebook, Baba Tyrone Davis, or they can contact me at babagottit@yahoo.com.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Baba. I know that I'm greatly appreciative of what you have put into my life as far as the arts is concerned, and you know, helping to motivate and cultivate me to who I am today. So thank you so much for that.
It's a pleasure.
You guys, again, you are tuned into I'm a Philly Artist TV. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Support Philly Cam, support the arts in general. We thank you so much and have a great night.
Hello everyone, I am Amanda Johnson.
And I'm Darnell Richardson.
Make sure that you like us on Facebook at I Am a Philly Artist TV.
And follow us on Twitter at iPhillyArtist. You can also check out our website for awesome articles and other things arts-wise at www.iamaphillyartist.net.